Hello again, guys. It's me, your Blaze we WCUE. Only on YouTube, or just Dolphy the Dolphin. But yeah. Anyways, today we have our first year of Stormclan. If you haven't watched already, I suggest you watch the introductions if you want to know some of the lore and some of the characters. So yeah, we are starting off with our dear leader, Stormstar. He is a male and he is 85 moons. He is insecure and he's a skill mediator and great hunter. And he has only 8 lives this year. Now we will get on to that very soon. And this is why he's posed like this, because you'll see in a moment. Alright, we're going to start with Moon 1. At the gathering, Stormstar questioned whether Breezeclan's leader has been entirely truthful about their recent activities on their shared border. This made Breezestar very angry at Stormstar. They might have a good relationship, but Breezestar does not like Stormstar that much because, yeah, this is one of the reasons, I guess. And Breezestar hopes that Stormstar is taking good care of her son, our ghost. Stormstar is ignoring his daughter, Quiverkit, and sometimes he doesn't think Quiverkit's intentions are all pure. This kind of makes Quiverkit a bit angry, because Quiverkit is like 5 moons right now, so yeah. No, 4 moons, I think. Oh my god, I can't remember. Quiverkit is excited when she becomes an apprentice and hopes Stormstar, but Stormstar is their mentor, but Stormstar just doesn't pay any attention to her. Then the clan has noticed that Stormstar has been smiling a lot more to Quiverkit the next day. Apparently, Stormstar has been taking Quiverkit into nice small training sessions to get ready for their apprenticeship, which is kind of cool, because Stormstar may not be the greatest cat to talk to, but he does care about his daughter, even though not that much, but yeah. Stormstar decides to go on a walk to think about clan stuff. He still misses Star. He wishes that he could have had another life with Star, but now he knows that Star is a dead cat. He tries to not think about her anymore. And when Stormstar is busy talking to Quiverkit, obviously Quiverkit has to sleep with him since there's no queens. There was a fight between 2 cats. I'll not say them yet, but I hope I remember. But yeah, about something, and Quiverkit tells Stormstar, and Stormstar rushes out then and yells at the 2 cats, and Quiverkit stuck their tongue out and said, "Well, at least I don't fight like little crybabies." Stormstar smiles. That's my daughter. When Stormstar goes on a patrol, he comes across a Tideclan apprentice on the border on the wrong side of the border. holding prey. This made Stormstar a bit suspicious, and then he asked the apprentice what he was doing in the territory. The apprentice got startled by Stormstar because they didn't know Stormstar was in the territory. The apprentice was a bit scared at first, but Stormstar likes intimidating cats. I mean, he is a big cat, I guess. He asked. Wait, never mind. Oh, God. He snarls at the young apprentice. The apprentice screeches and runs back to the Tideclan island, or border, and the patrol came, which was a mentor and another cat, who was training the apprentice. The mentor looked at Stormstar and dipped their head to respect the Stormclan's leader. Stormstar just dipped his head, but not like slightly. So they did like a small nod. And he just flicked his tail, lashing his tail whilst he went. And this made Tideclan a bit more improved with relationship improved with Stormclan, so yeah. Into Moon 2, after the recent startle of the apprentice in the border, Stormstar decides to speak to Tideclan a little bit in the gathering, and given their reputation of Tideclan of battle readiness, Stormstar decides to praise the power and strength of Tideclan's warriors at the gathering. The appreciative gleam in Tideclan's leader, Tidestar looks at Stormstar and dips his head. Tidestar seemed to have better relationship with Stormstar than the other leaders, and Tidestar announces that if Stormclan ever needs help, Tideclan will be the first clan to help them. Stormstar decides to speak to Sleet Chase for a while. He saw how his niece... Wait, is it niece? No, cousin. Oh my gosh, this is family tree getting me mixed up. That she has been feeling lonely. She is a medicine cat, so he wants to make sure if his cousin is okay. He checks on her, and he realizes that none of the cats like spending time with her because of her attitude. Apparently she's been a bit rude to the cats because she gets stresses out. Stormstar tells her that she can rest whenever she wants, and if any cat decides to be rude to her, they have to come speak to Stormstar, because Stormstar doesn't like how they treat Sleet Chase like a dog. I don't know. This makes Sleet Chase a bit happier, and when Raincloud saw this, Raincloud is happy that his nephew is helping their daughter feel better. Stormstar decides to take Argos on a small patrol with Argos, and they chat about clan news. Stormstar seems to like talking to Argos a lot. They're not gay, I'm telling you that. Stormstar likes someone else, which they ended up with. You will see. Stormstar decides that he wants to know about Argos' backstory a little bit in Speedpaint, why he actually wanted to be in Stormclan. Argos tells Stormstar about their story. This made Stormstar a bit sad about how they ended up here, but Stormstar decides that he will treat Argos like his own son. Yeah. Now that I say that, I kind of don't want him to be. He's not like an actual adopted son, but like Stormstar sees him as a son. So yeah. Then the next day, Stormstar notices that Algos comes into his den, and Algos brings him a piece of prey. This actually makes Stormstar very happy, and he nods to Algos, and he takes the fresh kill. These two are like such best buddies. Stormstar goes on a solo patrol to hunt for himself and maybe Algos, and then he finds a loner in the bush who attacks him. Stormstar swiped apart them, but the loner seemed to just be playing with him. Stormstar sighs in relief, and then he asked for the loner's name, and they were called Pt2. Stormstar kind of liked the name because it sounded like a clan name. He asks Pt2 if they were a clan cat, but Pt2 just shrugs. They don't even know what a loner is. Loner is. Wait, no. A clan cat is. Oh my gosh. And they decide to keep their old name when Stormstar asked if they want to be a clan cat, and Pt2 is happy about that. So they take in Pt2. Then Stormstar chases out a kitty pet who strayed in their territory. Stormstar's not a fan of kitty pets, and he just shoos them away. This cat was called Moon. And then soon the next day he had a runny nose. Unfortunately, even though it's green leaf, but I guess he got it from like the flowers or something, I don't know. A few days later, Stormstar offers Pt2 some feathers as a welcome gift for joining Stormclan. Pt2 seemed to have some satisfaction in her eyes. Stormstar was confused, but just shrugs. Then the next day he offered more feathers as a welcome gift to her nest. This actually happened. I don't know why they kept on giving feathers, but now I know why when I found out at the end of the year. Then Stormstar goes on a patrol, and there is a stream that crosses to Voidclan, and Voidclan seem to have not marked their borders, and Stormstar decides to mark it for them, even though it was make them sent like Stormclan, but I don't know how that works, but yeah. Voidstar comes out with a patrol and looks at Stormstar and asks what he was doing, but Stormstar tells them, and Voidstar nodded and dipped their head, and they took their patrol with them. Voidstar is a girl, by the way, guys, not a boy. On to moon number 3. When Voidclan arrives at the gathering, Stormstar notices that Voidstar doesn't seem to be leading the patrol, and the deputy of Voidclan is actually leading it instead. Stormstar wishes Voidstar a fast recovery, and the deputy of Voidclan dips their head, and they will tell Voidstar that they said that. They both smiled, and the Voidclan seemed to have gotten better relationships with Stormclan. The next day after the gathering, he is told by Sleet Chase that he no longer has a runny nose and he can leave the den. Stormstar is glad that he did not catch any green cough or white cough, or any of those coughs. And then he walks by the warrior's den, and then he just stops and sees Pt2 coughing up a hairball. He walks away and pretends like he did not see that. He got a little embarrassed when he saw that. And then he was in his den, and then Algos came in to talk to him for a bit. Stormstar thought Algos was a lot more polite today. Stormstar decides to look for the kitty pet since Raincloud told Stormstar to at least give the kitty pet a try to see if they want to join Stormclan. But Stormstar said if they don't want to join, then they will either kill them if they don't get out of their territory. So Stormstar goes on a patrol with Raincloud, and they find the kitty pet Moon, and Stormstar asks if they want to join the clan, and Moon jumps happily excited, and they said yes. So Stormstar just groans in frustration for a kitty pet being in their clan, but he just stopped caring. And then a few days later, Stormstar was about to trip on something, but Moon stops him and warns him that there was something on the ground. Stormstar looks at her and he dips their head in thanks. It's made Stormstar a little bit more happier with the kitty pet. And when he talks to Pt2 looks at him in a bit of annoyance. He realizes that Pt2 was finding Stormstar a bit annoying this moon. Okay, on to moon number 4. Also, don't mind the fan in the background. It's boiling hot where I am. So, yeah. So, in moon 4 at the gathering, Stormstar admits to Voidstar at the gathering that Stormstar thinks that Voidstar is a great leader and he hopes to be. Voidstar looks at him and nods. She seems that their relationship has improved a lot with him. I think it's been a moon or 2, but I don't know. I can't remember. Stormstar prepares a meeting, and it's actually a ceremony meeting, and he welcomes Moonwish as a full warrior. Everyone yells and cheers for the cat Moonwish. And a few days later, Stormstar is hoping that Moonwish actually notices him. I see someone's kind of actually developing a crush on her, slightly. Stormstar goes on a patrol with the majors, which is Sleet, Chase, and Raincloud, which is the medicine cat and deputy. And they had a nice sun bath near a small little place that is quite warm, and they have a little small talk about a few things, major wall stuff, and then Stormstar has a wonderful time discussing recent clan news with Algos in his den. Seems like they are developing really quick, and Pt2 comes up to Stormstar and she tells him that they're going to go on a walk in the territory of Quiverpaw because he was told from Raincloud that Quiverpaw hasn't been feeling well lately. Not like sick, but like not doing too good. Stormstar frowns at the thought of their daughter being sad. They don't know what's going on recently, but they nodded at Pt2. On the patrol, Stormstar was informed that there was a badger set in the territory, so he goes by himself to check it out since he wants to be brave. And then he goes inside the den, which is a mouse brain idea, and he comes nose to nose with it. And the badger furiously attacks him, but Stormstar manages to run away and gives the badger a few claws on their few claw marks on them. Raincloud comes into the den holding a rabbit. Stormstar sees the look on Raincloud's face, and the smell sounds a bit weird. Smell? Yeah, smell sounds a bit weird. Smells a bit weird. Oh my god. So Stormstar asked Raincloud where he hunted that, and Raincloud dropped the rabbit and pinned his ears down as he realized that he didn't want to. That he always wants to stay loyal to Stormstar. So Raincloud tells him that he's been hunting near Mistclan territory. Stormstar punishes Raincloud, and he will tell Mistclan that Miststar that it was a misinformation accident. Into Moon 5. At the gathering, despite the horrendous weather, Stormstar doesn't want their warriors to get sick or anything, so he strikes out with his gathering patrol and to the meeting place. It's deserted, and he just sighs. So he just flicks his tail for his warriors to go back to camp, since there's no point. And he was going to praise Breezeclar's clan, so yeah. Stormstar has seemed to be a little kinder to our ghost recently this month, which doesn't really seem like him, since he does have a good relationship with our ghost. Stormstar wishes he could get his pelt to shine like his daughter's. I'm pretty sure your pelt is already shining. Then Stormstar respects Algo's opinion about the borders, and despite disagreeing with it, Stormstar goes on patrol and comes across an Fireclan apprentice. It's basically the same thing that happened with Voidclan apprentice. The Fireclan apprentice just did the same thing and hid behind them and got scared by Stormclan. Halfway through the year, in Moon 6, at the gathering, Stormstar praises Fireclan's leader, Firestar, for how sharp his warriors' claws are, and he admires how they will be good for hunting and fighting. Fireclan's leader is all the more pleased to hear from a leader like Stormstar. Fireclan or Clan has improved. Stormstar the next day was feeling a bit upset about not having a mate. Quiverpaw starts comforting him by making him laugh a little happier, which Stormstar doesn't really laugh too often, so I guess he's a lot happy that Quiverpaw makes him laugh. I forgot that Quiverpaw got their ceremony name, but it didn't say, so yeah, I forgot about it. Anyways, during a patrol, Stormstar and Quiverpaw have a long conversation about their beliefs and agreeing on many things, which is medium positive. Stormstar notices that Quiverpaw hopes that she is assigned with him tomorrow in a patrol. So Stormstar tells Raincloud to assign Quiverpaw on a hunting patrol with Stormstar. Quiverpaw jumps in excitement, happy that she is on a patrol with her father. Then Stormstar gets irritated when Oaktoe, she wants to help her clan keep fit and ready for anything, and she woke Moonwish, Stormstar, Sleet Chase and Owl Ghost up in the morning for early stretches. Stormstar scolds her. Stormstar caught Sleet Chase having a nice chat with a kitty pet. Stormstar yells at the kitty pet to go away and swore if they ever see them again, they would either be clawed out to leave or be clawed to death. Then Stormstar looks at Sleetchase with a angry grin and warns her not to speak to any non-clan cats. Sleetchase frowns, and they have gotten a bit worse to each other. Stormstar goes on a patrol. He always likes to go on by himself. And he, oh no, this is when the thing happens, or starts, eventually. Stormstar hisses when there is a dog he sent near the territory. He tries to claw away, but the dog went away without even doing anything to Stormstar. They just looked at him and growled, and then they just went. Like, this kind of made Stormstar worried, and so he calls a meeting to warn the clan. He told Raincloud to make sure that patrols are aware of dogs, and border patrols have to check every single spot of their territory. And Stormstar will tell the clans about dog in the territories, the next gathering. Into Moon 7, when Tideclan arrives at the gathering, Stormstar notices that Tidestar isn't at the gathering and sees the deputy in the patrol instead. Stormstar wishes Tidestar speedy recovery, and the deputy smiles. Then Stormstar announces in his turn about the dogs in their territory. The clan leaders looked at him in shocked. But Firestar and Tideclan's deputy and Miststar just looked at each other and shrugged, because they don't have anything to worry, since Fireclan lives in the desert and Mistclan lives in a tundra, and Tideclan lives in a island with water around it. Stormstar looks at Breezestar. Breezeclan has like a whole moorland. This worries Breezestar, and Stormstar tells Breezestar that they will help if they need anything. Crap. Then when they return to camp, they went to their dens, and Sleetchase comes into Stormstar's den, and they have a little talk, and they notice that they've both been making each other yawn non-stop, which is very weird. When Stormstar talks about Quiverpaw to Sleetchase, he notices that Sleetchase signs every time when they hear the mention of Quiverpaw. Stormstar glares at Sleetchase and growls, and flicks his tail for Sleetchase to go back to their den. Sleetchase just glares at him and left. And they have another talk in the medicine den, and they are trying to gosh, what am I trying to say? They try to get a better relationship. I could not find a word because I forgot it. And Leechchase is the only cat who can make Stormstar laugh, which that was what Stormstar said, which he clearly forgot about his daughter. Then he announces a meeting because he was told from our ghost that because Quiverpaw was mentored to our ghost, because since they both feel like siblings to Stormstar. And when the clan talks rudely about our ghost, Stormstar yells and won't stand for the slander about our ghost. And he told the clan, if anyone talks shit about him, Stormstar will punish them. Half of the clan did get a bit angry and said that Stormstar was a terrible leader, but Stormstar just rolled their eyes, and Raincloud nodded. And so did Leechchase. Stormstar grinned, and he just went to his den to ignore the clan. Our ghost comes into his den the next day, or in the morning, to give him a fresh kill, and they have a nice talk, and he hears our ghost laugh at a clanmate's joke, even though it was lame earlier ago, and he starts talking about it to our ghost, which embarrasses our ghost. And when he was left alone in his den, he wonders if he could be better as a mediator instead. Well, they don't have any mediators at all yet, because Stormstar doesn't think any clan relationship drama is happening, so yeah, and he doesn't really care about the drama. So yeah, he's starting to think that he's not good as a God, I forgot, leader, yeah. Stormstar decides to test Moonwish if they know everything about training, and Moonwish unsheathes her claws and attacks Stormstar. Stormstar is angry, and Moonwish stutters and says it was an accident. Stormstar sighed, and they didn't want to. They did have a crush on Moonwish a little bit, so they just sighed and said it was okay. Yeah. And Stormstar is informed by Raincloud that Quiverpaw, who is literally 11 moons, they're having their assessment right now. Wait. No, not an assessment, but he is told that Quiverpaw had a nice chat with a loner outside the clan territory. Stormstar calls for Quiverpaw and scolds her and punishes her and makes her to collect herbs for Leechchase. Oh yes, here comes the dogs. This is where everything goes bad for him. Stormstar is informed by Raincloud that the patrol has found the dog, and it was a bigger dog than the last one, and he realized that there was like more than one dog. And Stormstar decided to check it on by himself because he thought he could fight them. Oh my word, bruh. I don't know, Stormstar just thinks he's the strongest cat. I mean, he was a cave god, but doesn't mean he literally is the strongest cat. He comes face to face with the dogs, and he does manage to get 3 of them run away, but 2 of the dogs started ganging up on the Stormstar, and he barely breathes, and he would give all his life to Stormclan. And as he leads the huge dog away from the clan, he, in his heart, he accepts that what he's doing, and he trembles his paws since he was really tired, and one of the dogs grabbed him by the scruff and fling him across the area, grass, I don't know, and he is thrown onto the tree and hurts his back. He can barely breathe and gasps for air. He can see his vision getting blurry with darkness, and he is passes out, and he wakes up into Starclan and sees none other than Star, but also his mother, Icicle Spot. Star tells him that Stormstar has lost their first life, meaning he has 8 lives left. Stormstar hisses and asks Star what they mean. Star looks at him like he forgot that he had 9 lives. Star explains everything, and Stormstar frowns and realizes that they actually they have to use their lives carefully this time, and Icicle Spots tells her son that he should stop going on solo patrols. Stormstar rolls his eyes, and then he wakes up gasping for air, and he realizes that he's found in the medicine den. Sleet Chase rushes to him and asks if he was okay. Stormstar said yes, but was raspy. He realizes that the wound in his chest was healed up, and it didn't hurt because it was healed by Starclan, but it was marked there permanently. And Stormstar did think like it was a good thing since it will keep enemies away. Then Stormstar is informed by Pt2 Moonwish, he's still in the medicine den by the way, that a apprentice from Fireclan is strayed in their territory and begs to join. Stormstar rolls their eyes and glares and tells them that apprentices from other clans should not join the clan. But Pt2 and Moonwish tells them that the apprentice they were an ex-key pet, and they didn't feel like they were belonged. Stormstar sides and allowed the kitty pet clan cat to join. In Moon 8, when Stormstar reaches the meeting place at the gathering, he discovers that Breezeclan isn't present, and he is told by Sleet Chase that the medicine cat from Breezeclan said at the Half Moon gathering that there was a green cough outbreak, and Stormstar frowns, and he had all the insult ready too, which is kind of weird because why was he going to, I don't know. Anyways, Stormstar sees Owlghost putting something back where it belongs. Stormstar nods at Owlghost. Stormstar can't stop purring when he remembers Raincloud's laugh. Yep, when they were still in the tribes. Raincloud and Stormstar had a huge argument about who should be leading the patrols, and Raincloud yells at Stormstar that they should stop going on a solo patrol. Stormstar just tells Raincloud that he should not be questioning their leaders. Stormstar stops doing his duties for a few days after this, and he allows Raincloud to take over the meetings and gatherings. When discussing the future, Algos comes in and they both decide about the policies they implement in a clan of their own. Stormstar and Moonwish goes on a patrol together, and they mark the same spot as the border, and they laugh at each other, and they both blush in both embarrassment and loving. Gross. Moonwish wanted to keep her clanmates in shape and fit for any fighting, and she woke up Volpaw, Alghost, Stormstar and Raincloud up and early in the morning. Stormstar sides, and they don't, but they still get fit because they don't mind Moonwish, but the others don't like it. And Stormclan calls a meeting about Volpaw, and they have received their warrior name as Volpatch. The clan yells excitedly, and Quiverpaw also got their warrior name, and they are known as Quiverpool. Stormstar nods at Alghost, and yeah. Then Stormstar is scold Quiverpool when she puts a dead snake at the camp entrance to scare clanmates. Stormstar is informed that there's a badger set in his territory again, and he looks for the badger set and finds nothing. On to Moon 9, amidst growing tension, Stormclan launches a strike against Mistclan. Mistdar is fearing an imminent threat from their clan's existence, and she tells their clan to retreat, and Stormstar claims a bit of their territory. At the gathering, Stormstar pretends to have forgotten Mistdar's leader name and calls them Mist Sky. Mistdar scowls at them, much to their disbelief. The war with Mistclan has begun, and is disrupting the daily lives of the Stormclan warriors and Mistclan warriors. The next day, Stormstar and Alghost don't start their days without one another, which is nice. They always come in each other. They always eat with each other before they start their day, which is very nice. And Alghost is struggling with something, and Stormstar decides to help them. Stormstar takes Raincloud, his deputy, and Oaktoe on a small patrol and take a sun bath and had a little talk. When they return from a patrol, Raincloud goes set off to do something, and Oaktoe and Stormstar seem more at peace with each other than usual. Stormstar realizes that he is in a love triangle. He has to decide if he likes Moonwish more or Oaktoe more. And Stormstar is asked by Quiverpaw that she's doing too much at once and asks him for help. Stormstar got into another dogfight. Oh my god. he has not learnt anything and he still fights the dog, and he has gotten a bite wound. Recently, before the gathering, Mistclan launches a strike against Stormclan to claim their territory, back their territory, but they lose at what cost? At the gathering, Firestar proudly announces they have welcomed new kits. Sleet Chase congratulates them. First, Stormstar is happy that Sleet Chase stayed to their rules about being respectful to leaders, if they're not a leader, apparently. Stormstar comforts Sleet Chase after a terrible nightmare. Stormstar, wanting to keep his clanmates in shape and ready, oh my god, he woke up Oaktoe, Volpatch, Quiverpool and Raincloud up early for the morning stretches. A clanmate that Stormstar wanted to get to know better, which is their daughter, is always talking to our Ghost or Raincloud or Oaktoe or Volpatch. Stormstar welcomes the newly kits Wisp Kit and Night Kit. I forgot who their parents were, but we will find out soon. Raincloud, well, Stormstar notices that Raincloud thinks that his tone sounds off today. Raincloud told Stormstar that he was gonna get Stormstar his favorite prey, but they failed, and Stormstar just shrugs and said it was fine. While hunting, he tumbles and fails to catch their prey, and he hears Oaktoe laughing at them, and Stormstar blushes, both embarrassment and yeah. Stormstar has been receiving dreams of the war with Mistclan, and he is worrying about asking Sleet Chase for help. Miststar tells Stormstar to stop the war in the gathering, but Stormstar hisses and said that they'll still have the war. This made Stormclan very angry at Stormstar. During the gathering, Sleet Chase is the first and loudest to laugh whenever Firestar makes anything even approaching a joke. Stormstar is happy that Sleet Chase is getting used to their clan reputations with the other leaders. When Stormstar panics, he notices that when he thinks about Algos, he feels better. Stormstar has been checking on Volpatch recently. Quiverpool and Stormstar are starting to get to actually be like a family and bring each other prey. Unfortunately, Stormstar gets upset when he finds out by Sleet Chase that Quiverpool has gotten green cough, which is not good, because I have something surprising for the future for her. When I said Wisp Kit and Night Kit, that was a mistake because there was a kitty pet who joined that was found by Moonwish and Oaktoe, and they had kits, and they had the kits Night Kit and Wisp Kit, so yeah. At the end of the year, Stormstar decides that Stormclan and Mistclan have ended the war. At the gathering, Sleet Chase praises the beauty of FlameClan's territory. Stormstar looks at them with a slight jealousy. Stormstar finally heals from his bite wound. Stormstar notices that Oaktoe always jumps every time when Oaktoe is talking to them. Oaktoe and Stormstar announces to the clan they have became mates. Stormstar realizes that Moonwish doesn't seem to be happier ever since they announced they became mates. And that will be the end of the... Right, on to our next cat, which is Raincloud. He is now 128 moons. He's still the deputy. He told Stormstar that he's not going to retire yet. He wants to make sure that he has found the right cat to be the next deputy after him. And Raincloud is confident that he can still do deputy duties, which could lead to a bit of a bad path. Anyways, on the first moon, Raincloud speaks to Sleetchase, his daughter, and he doesn't realize that he makes negative comments to her, and then after when he finishes, he realizes that Sleetchase is gone, which means that Sleetchase has been Raincloud made her angry. Then he never realized that there's something soothing about Owl Ghost, and he didn't realize that. So yeah, and he was getting attacked by something, but Quiverkit made a sacrifice, and somehow she survived. It was basically like a fox trying to get into the warriors' den, and then Quiverkit just scared them away. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, then he realizes that his daughter looks at him in a bit of a worried way when he sees one of her friends talking to him, more like a jealousy way, or yeah. This makes him a bit upset and worried. And when the new learner, which is Oktar, when she comes to join the clan and Stormstar announces it, Raincloud goes up to her and gives her some feathers as a welcome gift. And then the next day, Raincloud decides to spend time with Oktar and tell each other interesting stories. Raincloud really wanted to hear some of Oktar's backstory. And when Owl comes to Raincloud, he starts crying that he has a thorn stuck in his paw. Raincloud sighs and tells him to go to Sleetchase and stop whining about it. Then Raincloud goes to tell a secret to Sleetchase, and then Sleetchase tells someone else's secret to him, which is a bit weird. And then Raincloud decides wanting to keep his clanmates in shape. He wakes up Owlghost, Oktar, Sleetchase, and Moonwish up early for morning stretches. I forgot to say that Moonwish joined the clan here, but yeah. And then Raincloud and Quiverpool, when Quiverpool got her apprentice ceremony now, they snarl. Oh wait, I forgot to say the moons. This is moon 3. They snarl at one another over something trivial. Onto moon 4, Stormstar, Sleetchase, and Raincloud had a nice little chat while sunbathing in the sun, and Raincloud and Oktar chat about the latest meeting. So these two are like very good gossipers with each other. Then Raincloud notices that Quiverpaw is never congratulated for her accomplishments as much as everyone else. This makes Raincloud a bit upset for her and decides to take her on a patrol to see if she's doing good on her training. He sees that she's been fumbling a little bit, and he teaches her some skills. Some skills that many cats don't even know. Then Raincloud goes on a hunting patrol. I don't remember who he went with, but he sees a rabbit on the other side of Mistclan, and he decides to grab it and eat it and bring it back to camp. This makes Stormstar angry, and he is punishment. He's punished. And Raincloud understands his what I forgot how you say it, and regrets what he did. So yeah. And Moon 5, Raincloud brought Quirrellpaw some dry bedding. This makes Quirrellpaw happy. And Quirrellpaw said that if Raincloud ever retires, Quirrellpaw would be the first to give dry bedding, feed him, and other stuff. This makes Raincloud very happy. Raincloud and Oaktoe roll up moss balls together in the medicine den. Sleetchase is a bit mad that they wasting her moss, so she scolds them outside, and they both have a laugh about it. Then Moonwish comes up to Raincloud and asks about how Deputy does the duty. This makes Raincloud a bit confused, and he asked Moonwish if they were thinking on to be a deputy. Moonwish nodded and they were hoping to become deputy one day. Raincloud nods and understands what they meant. On to Moon 6. He sees a meet. He hears Stormstar calling a meeting, and Stormstar warns our dogs surrounding the territory. This makes Raincloud a bit worried, so he decides to do extra border patrols. This was decided by himself, so Stormstar didn't really say this, but the Stormstar approves. So Raincloud is great for that. Then Raincloud watches drama unfold in camp with Quirrellpaw, possibly with Stormstar, since he has been a bit off this moon. And Raincloud and Oaktoe agree on something the rest of the clan finds contentious. Raincloud, Stormstar, and Moonwish have a nice talk whilst eating. Seems like these three are getting along. And Raincloud has a friendly chat with Moonwish after they ate, and that leaves them both feeling happy. Unfortunately, Raincloud eventually gets white cough during the moon, which makes him very upset because now he has to go into the medicine den, and Sleetchase finds out and is starting to get worried. And Sleetchase tells Raincloud that he must retire soon, because he will only get worse if he keeps doing his deputy duties. Then he went out to get some fresh kill for himself, and Oaktoe quickly apologizes after bumping into him. And Raincloud said it was fine, and they both had a laugh about it. Yeah, these two will get along very well. And whilst in the medicine den, some cats bring in Stormstar's body, and Raincloud is shocked to see him half dead. Sleetchase tells him about the news, and Raincloud gets a bit worried because now he only has 8 lives left. And then he hears about a new member from a Fireclan member who joins the clan, who is called Volpaw. Raincloud isn't sure about this since Fireclan is their ally, but they don't know how Firestar will be happy about it. And he hears Stormstar purring when Raincloud always laughs. This makes Raincloud happy. And Sleet Chase tells Raincloud that he can go back to the Warrior's Den since he has no more white cough. And then Raincloud spends some time with Stormstar, and Stormstar tells him that he's developing a crush on Octo. Raincloud is shocked about this because Octo is their best friend, and he was very happy to hear this. And Raincloud wishes that a clanmate liked him as much as they liked Quiverpaw. And not many cats like Quiverpaw, so he's probably thinking either Owl Ghost or just himself, because they both only care for Quiverpaw that much. And Raincloud and Stormstar had a fight over that one of them should not take any mates. Raincloud tells Stormstar that he should focus on his leader duties. Stormstar tells him that he needs to retire soon and not get a mate. Raincloud rolls his eyes and just leaves. And then he's woken up by Moonwish to get ready and fit. Raincloud scolds at her and tells her he's not in the mood for a patrol right now. Moonwish looks at them a bit worried. And then he hears Moonwish telling Octo that she wishes to be the next deputy after Raincloud. He gets startled when there is a dead snake at the camp entrance, and he realizes that Quiverpaw laughs every time when a cat jumps. Raincloud fires Vixelzzz, and he stomps towards Stormstar and tells him about Quiverpaw's attitude. And usually Raincloud wouldn't get so angry with Quiverpaw, but he's been not feeling too good after his arguments with Stormstar. Then he goes on a patrol with Owl Ghost and Quiverpaw, and he tells them that he's useless and he should start retiring soon, but he doesn't want to do it because he was worried for the clan. Owl Ghost and Quiverpaw looked at each other and tells him that he was the best deputy they could ever ask, and they said to take his time, and whenever he's ready he can retire. On to Moon 8. Raincloud brings in some herbs for Sleet Chase. Sleet Chase smiles and nods at him when he pads off. Then Raincloud trains with Quiverpaw for some bit because Owl Ghost needed to get something for Stormstar on a hunting patrol, and Raincloud was told to train Quiverpaw. Raincloud has just been getting a bit, his body has been getting a bit stiff, so he decides to train her a little bit, and Quiverpaw looks at him with admiration in her eyes. Raincloud is starting to find out who he thinks is the next chosen one. You'll see what that means soon. Raincloud is letting Volpatch. Oh yeah, he got his warrior name. I don't know why, but sometimes the Clangen doesn't say when they have their ceremonies. So yeah, I get kind of mixed up when they have their ceremony. So yeah, Volpatch shares his troubles with him, and he hopes he feels better afterwards. which these two don't even talk to each other that much. This is like the first time they talk to each other. Raincloud, Octo, and Stormstar took a sun bath. Oh my god, I can't speak. And had a little small talk. Raincloud only went with them because Octo suggested, since they were both besties, and Stormstar agreed. And then he is asked by Volpatch about his duties. Raincloud laughs, and he was like asked the same thing from Moonwish, and he knew that Volpatch wanted to be the deputy. Unfortunately, the next few days he has gotten yellow cough. Jeez Louise, was it white cough or green cough? I can't remember, but yeah, this is why he's playing like this, because he can't he's getting very old and he's getting a lot of cough. So yeah, poor Raincloud. And he tries to go catch a bird he finds that landed in the clearing, and he tries to catch it, but he doesn't know how to catch birds that easily, and he sighs and wishes that he could have wings so he can catch bird easier. On to Moon 9, Raincloud talks to Sleetchase in the medicine den, and he asks his daughter how her duties is going. Sleetchase tells him that how stressful it's been, but Raincloud nodded, and Sleetchase asks about his duties, and they both are feeling happy afterwards. And then Stormstar decides to wake up everyone in the early morning, which was Octo, Volpatch, Quillpaw, and Raincloud for stretches. Raincloud looks at Stormstar and asks him if he even cared about his bones, and Stormstar just stalks away. Raincloud looks at his nephew with a angry expression and stalks away back into the medicine den. Then Raincloud thinks that Stormstar tone sounds off today when he hears him talking to Owlghost. Raincloud and Owlghost always works together on a patrol, since Owlghost always seems to be doing his duties whilst Raincloud is sick. Raincloud might have another cat in his mind for the next deputy, but he can't choose since Stormstar is the one who chose, but he can give Stormstar some suggestions. Then Raincloud sulks when he fails to catch Stormstar's favorite prey, and they both been feeling better this moon. So even though they just had a little off fight, but Stormstar just forgives him and just sends him away. Raincloud isn't a bit sure if he's actually paying attention to him. And then he has a small talk with Moonwish, and they had a nice... Oh god, I'm so tired. It's like 9 o'clock here where I am when I'm recording this. And they have a nice sunbathe together. On to Moon 10, Raincloud feels a little safer when Moonwish joins him in the clearing, which is kind of weird. And Raincloud notices Quillpaw. Quillpaw got her warrior name, which is Quillpaw, who failed to complete a simple task. Raincloud notices Quillpaw failed to complete a simple task. Another one. Owlghost watches Raincloud went up for a sneeze, but it never happens. Raincloud can sense this when he notices he's being watched at. And then Moonwish calls Raincloud to capture a fat mouse on his next hunting patrol. Raincloud looks at her in a confusion way and just shrugs. Then Sleep Chase goes up to Raincloud and asks him if her duties are really what she wanted. Raincloud looks at her and just tells her that she is doing her best. Anyways, then there's when Mistclan and Stormclan has finally came to end. Raincloud is happy to hear this since he was in the war, and he was getting he realized that his fighting skills are not as good as when he was in tribes. On to Moon 11, Raincloud has finally survived Yellow Cough and is now free from the medicine den again. And then Raincloud bumps heads with the new Wisp's kit, reassuringly. He apologizes quickly and Wisp's kit just laughs at it like it was a joke. Then Raincloud had a disagreement with Quirrellpool about something or other, and they both stalk away, and Raincloud feels a little bit upset because he doesn't like making Quirrellpool sad. On to the last moon, Raincloud is giving some advice to Quirrellpool about her training and her fighting skills, since Quirrellpool has been failing her fighting skills in patrols, even though she's a warrior. And then he sees Pt2 looking at a rabbit on the Tideclan side, but Raincloud tells her not to get it since they are allies with it, and Raincloud tells her about his punishment when he did. Pt2 said that she would never, and she would always listen to Stormstar. And that's the end of the year for Raincloud. I'm just gonna tell you, he's probably going to retire soon, but next year is a bit different, so yeah. He's not gonna retire next year, I will say. But he does have 3 cats in mind for his suggestions, but he's not the only one who has suggestions, since Stormstar is also thinking of some cats. Anyways, enjoy the rest of Raincloud's drawing here, and I hope you liked it. I messed up with the shading a little bit, so yeah, because I thought it would ruin his look, and it kind of did, so I didn't like to do it that much. Alright, on to the medicine cat which is Sleep Chase. By the way, I keep getting the moons mixed up, so she's supposed to be like 70 something, I don't know. So she's not 89, just to let you know that. So yeah, next year I'll make sure I don't mess up. So yeah, this one I'm gonna start speaking before it gets long. Anyways, on to Moon 1, Sleep Chase gets annoyed by her father, Raincloud, about his negative comments to her. And Sleep Chase can't help but feel uneased when Quiverkit speaks a bit with her words lately, since she's been speaking a little off lately, and she thinks it's a joke since she's only a kit. Then she spends time with our ghost, sheltering during a storm. There was a lot of storms happening. On to Moon 2. Sleep Chase worries that the clan trusts her father, Raincloud, more than her, since no cats get best terms in with Sleep Chase because of her attitude. And then Owl Ghost comes into her den, and apparently he brought some herbs for her from the medicine den for a headache. And Sleep Chase is happy about this, since not many people like Stormstar or Quiverkit comes to fetch herbs, brings her herbs for her. So Sleep Chase is actually happy about this.
I know where it is, man.
And then Sleep Chase wonders why Stormstar keeps spending time with her when others usually don't like her attitude, but she certainly won't object, so she's kind of happy about this. And she tells Stormstar how she feels around the clan, and Stormstar agrees that he could make some decisions around the camp. He's been thinking on getting a mediator, but there's none yet, so he'll decide that in the future year. And Sleep Chase offers Oakto her blessings when she joins the clan to prevent her from eating deathberries, since she was a loner, so she had more people interrupt me. Anyways, then Sleep Chase gives Owl Ghost some advice with Quiverkit, since Owl Ghost knows that Quiverkit is not doing good in training, and Sleep Chase suggests a few things, and he agrees, and he thanks her for being helpful. Sleep Chase is very happy about this, since at least some clan cat appreciates her. Then on Moon 3, Stormclan finds Moon just outside the two-leg nest, and the patrol brings her in. Moon asks a few questions about leaf bear, sickness, and injury, and to Sleep Chase, and Sleep Chase tells her about it, and she joins. So Sleep Chase is the one who actually convinces her to join the clan. Anyways, Sleep Chase notices that Oakto always gets better fresh kill to eat. It kind of makes her a bit angry. I don't know why, but okay. Sleep Chase saw Owl Ghost being rude, and to some clanmates, and she notices that it's actually because he was defending her, so that's good. And Sleep Chase tells, not Sleep Chase, Raincloud goes to tell Sleep Chase a secret, and then she decides to tell someone else's secret to him, and we don't know who this secret is, and well, it might actually be Stormstar having multiple crushes, so this is gonna go bad. Then Raincloud woke up Argos, Oaktoe, Sleet Chase, and Moonwish up for early morning stretches. Sleet Chase is slightly mad since she never gets enough sleep because she's always working. So she scolds at her and tells him not to wake her up again. Then Sleet Chase tells Argos to smile more. I don't know if this is supposed to be like good because it's like low negative effect, but she's trying to cheer up her and he's trying to make Argos happy. So she's trying. And then she spots Oaktoe looking at her when she speaks to one of her friends, and she realizes that Oaktoe is kind of jealous. And then after a border patrol, our ghost comes in with Quiverpaw, who seemed to got a mangled tail. Sleet Chase gasped in shock, and she got to it right away, and told Quiverpaw to stop doing training until her tail is finished healing. On Moon 4, Sleet Chase is impressed by some of Algos' advice to gain an apprentice. And then Argos lets Sleet Chase know that her clanmate was talking badly about her. And Sleet Chase was happy that he told her this, so she decided to tell Stormstar about it to scold at the cat. Then Stormstar, Sleet Chase, and Raincloud had a nice sun bath and had a little small talk about clan stuff since all three of them are major roles. So yeah, and then Sleet Chase was about to trip on something on the ground, but Algos warned her, and Sleet Chase is glad to be cared from a cat. In Moon 5, Sleet Chase friend says nice thing about Algos, but it just makes Sleet Chase jealous. I don't know why, but I think Sleet Chase is forming a crush on him, even though their age is kind of a bit off, so I don't know. We'll see in the future. Quiverpaw then gives Sleet Chase a gift, and she doesn't know what it means, so she just pretends like she absolutely loves it. Then Sleet Chase was seen loudly bickering with the medicine cat of Tideclan, which is... oh god, I forgot. I think it was Riverstream. I can't remember. Anyways, then she goes on she tries to look for some herbs, and then she feels an awfully presence behind her, and she realizes that some Stormclan cat was watching her from behind, but when she turns around, it vanishes. This made her feel uneasy a little bit. Then in Moon 6, Sleet Chase stands tall when Algos walks by. Sleet Chase is amazed at how skilled Quiverpaw really is, since Quiverpaw is actually like the best hunter in Stormclan. So yeah. Then Raincloud, Sleet Chase, and Oaktoe had a nice walk whilst eating. Seems like a family thing. Well, except on Oaktoe, but I guess they just wanted to bring her out a little bit. And Oaktoe, wanting to keep her clanmates ready in shape for anything, woke Moonwish, Stormstar, Sleet Chase, and Argos up early in the morning. Sleet Chase is so annoyed about this, and she tells Oaktoe the exact same thing she told Raincloud. And Sleet Chase storms off and starts looking for herbs. outside the territory so she can get everything off her mind. And then she walks by and she had a nice chat with the keeper, but Stormstar spots her and he scolds her, leaving Sleetchase very angry with him and does not want to talk to him for the moon. And in Moon 7, the clan brings 12 pieces of prey and 4 herbs, and Sleetchase is glad that they actually starting to do herb patrols for her now. So Sleetchase thanks Raincloud and Stormstar a little bit. And Sleetchase and Stormstar keep making each other yawn. Oh my gosh. Anyways, Sleetchase signs at the mere mention of Quiverpaw. She is starting to not like how Quiverpaw is always distracting her from doing her duty. And Sleetchase is the only cat who can make Stormstar laugh, apparently, so I guess they are getting better. And then Sleetchase is getting worried as then White Cough, since Leaf Bear comes around, she's worried that there might be a green cough outbreak, since Raincloud has just gotten White Cough. So she is getting a bit worried now, since, yeah. And Sleetchase makes a small sacrifice that benefits Algos. Then the Voidclan medicine cat comes asking Stormclan and Sleetchase for if they have any juniper to spare. And Sleetchase nods and they decide to give some juniper for them since they have a lot, and to aid their allies. And they are getting, so Voidclan and Stormstar, no, that's not Stormclan are actually getting better terms. I forgot who the medicine cat was, so yeah. Anyways, then Moonwish comes in the den with a bunch of blood everywhere. Sleetchase is horrified at this, so she separates her with Raincloud and gives her juniper and cobwebs. And then another cat comes in, which is her cousin Stormstar, and she realizes that there's a patrol who found him lying on the floor, half dead, and the patrol tells her that Stormstar they passed out and they lost a life. Sleetchase is starting to get a bit worried because they have a sick cat, an injured cat, and another injured cat. So she has to separate Raincloud from Moonwish and Stormstar. And she's begging Starclan to find her apprentice. And then the clan brings 4 herbs for her, and she's glad. And then during the thunderstorm, Sleetchase learns that Stormstar is scared of thunder. Crazy. Then Sleetchase and Quiverpaw argued about something trivial, and neither of them apologize. Which is weird. And yeah, Moon 8 was really short, so here's Moon 9. And 4 new herbs were gathered as well. And then she learns that she has to prepare for some battle herbs, because there's a war going on with Mistclan and Stormclan. She starts panicking. She also tells that Stormstar is good to go. And then Sleetchase thinks Raincloud is very helpful, and he decides to help her around. And Sleetchase friends says nice things about Quiverpaw. I think this is Algos, but it just makes her more jealous. So, and then Raincloud suddenly gets yellow cough after he recovered from white cough. So Sleetchase is panicking even more, and then Stormstar comes in the den with a bite wound from another dog. Sleetchase scolds at him to stop going on solo patrols and fighting dogs. So she's left to do leader and deputy duties whilst doing medicine cat duty, so this is actually making her panic very badly. And on moon 10, 4 herbs were gathered again, and then Mistclan recently led out a surprise attack to claim Stormclan territory, but not to no avail. And some injured cats come into the den, and she has to take care of them whilst taking care of Moonwish, Stormstar again, and Raincloud again. And then at the gathering, Flame Clan's leader proudly announces that they have welcomed new kits, and Sleetchase congratulates them first and wishes them health and happiness of both their parents and litter. Sleetchase has a friendly chat with Raincloud that leaves them both feeling happy, and Sleetchase mews congratulations to Algos for a job well done after telling her that he can do Stormstar's duties and Raincloud's duties, which makes her feel happier. And whilst in the den, when Sleetchase wakes up from a nightmare, Stormstar comforts her. And Quirrellpool and Sleetchase were supposed to be working together today, but they can never agree long enough to accomplish anything. Yeah, they both get stressed out. And then Stormstar looks at Sleetchase, and she can see that Stormstar is worrying about something, but she doesn't. She has no time to worry about that. And then on Moon 11, Sleetchase considers Stormstar to end the war with Mistclan, but Stormstar disagrees, even though the Mistclan medicine cat told Sleetchase that Miststar wants to end the war. And during the gathering, Sleetchase is the first and loudest to laugh whenever Firestar makes anything even approaching a joke. And Sleetchase spends some time with Volpatch, and they both end up understanding each other a little better. So she starts considering that Volpatch could be a good medicine cat, but she knows that they have not trained, so she decides to forget about it. Sleetchase and Algos share stories of a clanmate they didn't realize they both miss, which I didn't know who it is, so yeah. And then she starts panicking when another cat comes in with green cough, so now she has 2 sick cats, and whilst having Stormstar injured. And then she starts thinking about her life choices and wishes that she was never a medicine cat, which is very sad. She goes out on looking for herbs, and then the awfully presence is behind her again, and it's actually Icicle Spot, her grandmother, and she tells her that Sleetchase is doing a good job and she has nothing to worry about, and they could never ask for a better medicine cat. This makes Sleetchase a lot more happier, so she starts focusing a lot more. On to the last moon, which is Moon 12. Mistclan and Stormclan have finally ended the war, and Sleetchase is happy about it. And at the gathering, Sleetchase praises the beauty of Fireclan's territory during the gathering, and Flamestar questions whether Sleetchase is hinting that she'd like to steal some of it for Stormclan, and she's annoyed about this. And then the kitty pet Snowclove joins the clan with 2 of her kits, Wisp Kit and Night Kit, and she's actually happy about this because she's considering about one of the 2 kits should be her apprentice. And then Sleetchase wants to have a talent that Snowclove has. And Sleepchase thinks the prey Whisket is biting into on the other side of the camp looks delicious. And Stormstar has finally healed, and now she's only taking care of Raincloud and Quiverpool, which is very good because. And Raincloud is free to go after the next day from Yellow Calf, so it's just Quiverpool that needs to be looked after. And then she enjoys the warmth of New Leaf. And Moonwitch decides to help around the camp, and she helps around with Sleepchase the most. So, yeah. And finally, she is asked by Nightkit about if StarClan has given her prophecies lately. And Sleepchase is happy that she asked this because she hopes that he might be considering to be a medicine cat. So she decides to follow Whisket and Nightkit around and ask them about StarClan and hope they would ever consider being a medicine cat. And that will be my throat. Oh my gosh. And that'll be it for Sleepchase. Bear in mind that she's one of the main characters. So is Stormstar and Quiverpool. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I drew Icicle Spots a little better. I still don't like her colors and stuff like that, but yeah. I'm going to end it here because my throat is actually croaking. Man, StarClan, what is going on? Anyways, here's the rest of the speed paint. Alright, onto a new face. So this is like technically the second oldest cat. Yeah, they're the queen, so they should be not next, but they're like a short time queen. So yeah. Anyway, here's a new face, Snow Clove. They're female. They're 112 moons. They're ambitious. Kind of, really. She is a fish-like swimmer and has a valuable insight, and she's a queen. Okay, so I got some lore for her. So yeah, in the past, she is a kitty pet. She was young at this time, so and she went out on the fence, and her neighbor had a cat called Shadow. And Shadow came up to Snow, and he was like a very old cat. So like, I guess you could say Snow Clove was, this is, I don't want to talk about this, but this is like a Spotted Leaf and Vixelzzz situation. So if you don't want to hear any of these parts, then skip to this part if you want to. Anyways, Snow decided to go to the Shadow's nest, and Shadow introduces himself. Moons pass. I really don't want to explain this too much because it makes me feel uncomfortable with this. And Shadow started to like Snow, and Snow didn't actually like him until he confessed to her, which is very stupid of her because she did not realize the age differences. And when they do confess, they start spending time together, and then Snow realizes that she might be regretting on what she did, and she realizes that when one of her friends, Moon, tells her about it, about the age differences and who Shadow really is, she panics and runs to a two-leg cat nest and starts crying, and then when she realizes that Shadow's on the front, she runs to her owner and starts meowing at them, and then they were like they were using their tail as pointing at Shadow, and two-leg understand what was happening, so the two-leg scolded at the cat, and then they told their neighbors about the cat, and the neighbors agreed, so they didn't let Shadow go out for a very long time. And then a few days later, Snow realizes that her stomach is starting to feel she's starting to feel a bit sicky, and she realizes that she's pregnant. This is when they were like very old, so like she would be 109. I can't remember. No, wait, 10. No, I don't know. You guys can do the maths. It's kind of confusing, but yeah, she was old at this time. This happened when she was actually like very old, and she only started to realize when she like an elder, so which is kind of crazy. And she's expecting kids, and when the time comes, she has 2 kids, Wisp and Night. She started feeling uncomfortable, so she takes the 2 kids and runs away from the two-leg place. Never wanted to see any of that kitty pet again, or any other cats, because she didn't know that Moon disappeared for a very long time, and Moon always yapped about like cats fighting like clan things, and she decided to look for those type of cats. And when she wanders, she finds a den, and there was nobody in there. It's like an old fox den, and she hides there, and then she's found by Oaktoe and Moonwish, the two non-clan blood, and they decide to take in her, and she meets with Stormstar, and he allows her in only because of her past. And he decided that if she only can stay in if she gets a warrior name for both her and her kids. So she agrees, and she is given the warrior name Snowclove, and the kits are called Wisp Kit and Night Kit. They're both she-cats. Yeah, I think they're both she-cats. That's Moon 11, by the way, so when they found her. Alright, now we're going on the real things. She's in the medicine den, by the way, because she's injured or something. On to Moon 12, Snowclove has a talent that Sleep Chaser wants to have. And when Volpatch returns from a patrol, her and Volpatch seem to be getting along very quickly. I mean, they're both kitty pet, so it makes sense. And then Snowclove bats a moss ball back to Night Kit when it flies in front of her paws. And she also envies Raincloud's position, which is the deputy. And she knows that she'll never be a deputy, so yeah. She decides to go on a walk by herself, and then she panics when she sees blood on the floor. she doesn't know what it means, and she realizes that this might be a sign from Stormclan, and then she sees a black shadow cat figure on the blood, and she realizes when it fades out, it shows shadow, and she starts panicking, thinking he had found her, and she trips, and her collar breaks, and she tells Sleetchase about it, and Sleetchase tells her that she must be giving poppy seeds so she can sleep, and Sleetchase says that she'll look forward to it, which Snowclove believes, and she takes Nightkit and Wisp-Kit next to her and falls asleep. Alright, another new face, which is Oaktoe. Yep. the cat who I've been talking a lot in Stormstar's part. Anyways, she is a female, she's 54 moons. She is nervous, but she's a good fighter, and she is clever, and she's a warrior. Don't mind the fan in the background. I'm boiling. Anyways, into Moon 1. Oh wait, Moon 2 I meant. Yeah, she was introduced in Moon 2. When she joins the clan, Raincloud offers Oaktoe some feathers as a welcome gift that she can use to decorate her new nest. And before that, Stormstar finds her, which she was a loner, but she had Oaktoe as her name already, so Stormstar decided that it sounded like a warrior name, so he kept the name for her. And she joins the clan and decides to keep her old name. That happened before, they got all of that. Alright, and Quiverkit offers Oaktoe some feathers as well. And then Algos offers feathers, and Stormstar offers like double the amount of feathers. And then Sleetchase offers her feathers. Yeah. And then the next day, Raincloud and Oaktoe decide to spend each other and tell each other interesting stories, like their story. And Oaktoe reveals the story where when she was a learner, she was abandoned from her two-leg owners. She kind of was a kitty pet, but she's more of a learner. So she's been living as a barn cat for many moons, and she always wanted to go into the forest, but she was quite nervous about it, so she always stayed, and she didn't have any other cat to accompany her. But she was glad to hunt for herself, but it was very hard to find fresh kill in that. So she decides to wander around Stormclan territory, and then she's found by Stormclans. So yeah. Moon 3, Oaktoe always gets better fresh kill to eat, and she notices that Sleetchase looks at her in a slight jealous face. And then Oaktoe randomly starts coughing up a hairball, and then she is embarrassed when Stormstar was looking, and he awkwardly walked away, pretending like he didn't see anything. This embarrassed Oaktoe and hoped that he didn't remember this. He didn't remember it. And then Raincloud wanted to keep his clanmates ready in shape for everything. Woke Algos, Oaktoe, Sleetchase, and Moonwish up early for morning stretches. Oaktoe didn't mind this because she thought it was what an actual deputy does, so she just doesn't mind it. She's very, very kind. And she worries that one of her friends likes Sleet Chase more. I don't know what's up with these two, but they just have random beef or jealousy. And sadly, she gets a stomach ache. So, but it's not too bad. So she doesn't. So Sleet Chase says that she does have to stay in camp, but she doesn't need to stay in the medicine den. And she starts finding Stormstar annoying when he mentions like rumors about her. In Moon 4, her and Rainclad chat idly about the latest meeting. These two are just gossipers, okay? These two are like gossiping besties. Pt2 is glad that her stomach ache is finally gone, so she can go back to hunting him. Pt2 is then happy to run into our ghost in a random patrol, surprisingly, and then she is startled when she heard wood bark being clawed, and she notices that Moonwish is sharpening her claws near Pt2. And Pt2 decides to go on a walk in the territory of Kurapor, because she has been told by Raincloud and Algos that apparently Kurapor hasn't been doing good lately this moon, ever since she became apprentice. So she decides to cheer up Kurapor and give her some advice, even though she was a loner. Even though she's been a loner for 3 moons, she still has better advice than our ghosts, to be honest. And then when she gasps in horror that Neon Deputy Raincloud catches prey from another territory, which is Mistclan, and she tells Stormstar. Yep, Stormstar actually didn't know until he was told way early, and Raincloud is punished for this. And yeah, in Moon 5, Raincloud and Pt2 roll up moss balls together, which is cute. Not in a not in the relationship way, because they are the age differences. No. Anyways, Pt2 shares a joke about a neighboring clan with our ghost. I think she's been talking about how Breezeclan has been wailing like little kids because of the loss of Algos. And then Pt2 has to go in the medicine den because she has gotten a heat stroke, which means she has to stay in camp and not do patrols again. In Moon 6, Raincloud, Sleet Chase and Pt2 had a nice talk whilst eating. Yep, gossipers. This time they have Sleet Chase because she's in the medicine den, obviously. Pt2 is feeling better and she has fully recovered from her heat stroke, so she can finally go on a patrol after a moon. And Pt2 randomly bumps heads with Owl Ghost, reassuringly. And then Pt2 wanted to keep her clanmates shape and ready for anything, woke Moonwish, Stormstar, Sleet Chase and Owl Ghost up early in the morning. Moonwish and Owl Ghost looked at her and an annoyed expression. She kind of got worried if she was doing the right thing, because she thought it was good since Raincloud did this. And then she finds out her Sleet Chase yells at her not to wake her up again, and this frightens Pt2. Well, Stormstar didn't say anything and just stalked away. In Moon 7, Raincloud and Pt2 agree on something the rest of the clan finds contentious. More gossiping. Then she quickly apologized after bumping into Raincloud, and they have a small laugh about it. These two are like very good friends, so yeah. And then Moonwish and Pt2 trip over the same twig in camp. And Moonwish knows that she does not like this because these two both of them like Stormstar, just to let you know. But Moonwish doesn't like him that much as Oaktoe does, so yeah. And then she leads a patrol with Moonwish because Stormstar was told at Raincloud that both of them should go on a patrol since they've both been quarreling with each other. And they find an exiled apprentice from Fireclan. I keep saying Flame Clan. And called Volpaw, and he joins the clan. And then Quirrellpaw is jealous that Oaktoe got to the last gathering, and Oaktoe notices this and apologizes to her and will tell Stormstar to the next gathering that she could come. Oh yeah, that was Moon 8, by the way. Anyways, Oaktoe thinks Quirrellpaw is a good singer when she hears Quirrellpaw singing randomly, and Oaktoe heard a story about something kind Volpaw did before they got exiled from Fireclan. And then Oaktoe thinks Algos is the most beautiful cat in the clan, which is very weird. Anyways, more like a handsome cat. And then Oaktoe was dispelling a false rumor about a certain clanmate, which is Moonwish, and she notices that Volpatch was listening to her and begs him not to tell anyone. And Volpatch just looked away and stalked off. And then she leads a patrol with Moonwish and Volpatch, and she was tempted to eat some fresh kill because she was on a hunting patrol, but she decides not to get punished like Raincloud did. In Moon 9, she starts getting frightened when the war with Mistclan and Stormclan begins, and then her, Raincloud and Stormstar took a sun bath and had a small little talk to gossiping. Yeah, I think Oaktoe wanted to take Raincloud with, because I don't know why, but yeah. And when they returned from patrol, Oaktoe and Stormstar seem more at peace with each other than usual. The clan are noticing that they are getting closer with each other lately. And then Oaktoe laughed at Volpatch for making a mistake on a patrol, which is bad. And then she leads another hunting patrol with Moonwish and Volpatch again, and she realizes that it starts snowing, and she decides to call the patrol an end, and they caught nothing. In Moon 10, she is in a border patrol, and she finds out that Mistclan has been trying to take on a claim of their territory, but her patrol managed to make the cats who were attacking there leave. And then Stormstar wanted to keep Oaktoe, Volpatch, Quirrellpaw, and Raincloud up and early for the morning stretches, and Oaktoe doesn't mind. But Volpatch and Quirrellpaw and Raincloud seem to not be happy about this, especially Raincloud when he's in the medicine den right now. And Oaktoe and Algos debate about something interesting, though they disagree. And I don't know what they were talking about, probably Vixelzzz. And then she's impressed by Volpatch helping others today. And Oaktoe sees Stormstar stumble while hunting and thinks it cute. Yeah, she's starting to actually liking him very much, and she hopes that she can actually become mates with him. And then Volpatch, Oaktoe, and Quirrellpaw had a nice talk whilst eating. And then Octo leads a border patrol with Algos and Quirrellpool, and they saw Mistclan on the other side of the border. They decided to have a chat with the patrol, and they seemed to actually be nicer than she thought. But Algos didn't seem to trust them still, so she agreed. And then Moon 11, she tries to overwork herself, but Algos doesn't want that, so he tells her to stop, and she does. Then during the meeting, the clan was blaming Algos for something, and Quirrellpool shouts at everyone at the clan and defends her, and she's happy about this. Octo thanks Volpatch for covering her during the patrol earlier. And then Octo hit Volpatch on the face with her tail while passing by. I'm pretty sure this was an accident, because, yeah. And then Stormstar sent a patrol to raid other clans to get additional prey, and Octo is injured by this, and she gets a small nip on her tail, so it's not that big of a deal, so she doesn't need to go to the medicine den. She just had to lick the wound. And she goes on a border patrol with Moonwish, and they both find a queen who is Snowclove, and she had two kits called Wisp Kit and Night Kit. And on the final moon, Octo's piece of prey is tastier, and Algos is jealous, and she asked if she liked to. He asked if they like to swap, and Octo agrees happily, saying she likes that one better, which is very nice. And then Octo's bruises have disappeared after the raid, and Octo is prancing around in front of Stormstar. I don't know why. Maybe she's getting worried that she might think that Stormstar doesn't like her. And Octo thinks that Nightkit is acting overly dramatic lately, so she thinks that Nightkit is the most dramatic cat in the camp. And then Octo tells Stormstar about her feelings, and Stormstar agrees that he has the same feelings, and they both announce in a meeting that they both became mates in the least showy way possible. And then Octo decides to do a prank on Volpatch, but she doesn't realize that he was hurt by it, and she doesn't seem to believe him when he tells her that it hurt him. And then Octo shows Wisp-Kit a talent, and Wisp-Kit seems to be upset because she thinks Octo is more talented than her. And then Octo was randomly startled by a shrew whilst on a patrol. And on the final patrol, Raincloud leads a border patrol with Octo, and Octo spies a fat rabbit on the side of Tideclan border, and then she attempts to get it, but she doesn't, relying on her loyalty, and Raincloud was watching her anyway, so she remembers the time when she told Stormstar about him eating the rabbit. So yeah, and that will be it for Octo. So yeah, I changed the eyes to green because there's too many cats with blue eyes. So yeah, and it fits more with green eyes. So yeah. Alright, another new phase. This one's gonna be short, and I don't know if I got the moons right, but whatever. So this is Moonwish. She is a she-cat, and she is 49 moons. She is insecure. She has steady paws, and learner of law, and she, in her role, is a warrior. So yeah. Now you might have heard that she also liked Stormstar, but obviously they didn't turn up to be mates in the end. So yeah, let's see. But the drama is going to be coming very soon between Moonwish and Stormstar. Anyways, into Moon 3 when she was found. Well, technically. Well, in Moon 2, Stormstar first saw her and chased her off the territory. Her name was Zam before, so yeah. And she was then brought into Moon 3. No. Oh wait, no. I mean, they were found in Moon 3. I don't know. Okay, so in Moon 3, they, no, I mean Moon 4, she was found just outside her two-leg nest, and she was given questions, and she asked some questions about if it's really worth it, and she decides, yeah, she can join. She was asked by Stormstar, so yeah. And Raincloud woke her, Algos, Oaktoe, Sleet Chase, and her up in the morning stretches. She didn't understand what it means, so she just went with it. Not like she was bothered, because she still knew, so she didn't know how everything worked. So yeah. And she was okay with Oaktoe during this time, so yeah. And then this is when everything starts to get a bit drippy. Then Moonwish warned Stormstar about something underground, and so he doesn't trip. And Stormstar is very happy about this because he doesn't like embarrassing himself, and she was praised. Then Moonwish notices that, well, in Moon 5, notices that Stormstar is doing something like he's trying to get her attention because he's wanting her to notice him. And then Moonwish has seen Oaktoe how Oaktoe looks at Stormstar and how he looks at her. So Moonwish starts sharpening her claws near Oaktoe like she really wants to kill her. Yeah, a bit violent. And then Moonwish asks Raincloud about his duties because she is really interested in being a deputy someday. This is during Moon 6, by the way. And Moonwish includes Algos in the conversation that he struggles to join. These two are like close to each other in a way. Let's just say, yeah. And then Moonwish is greeted by Algos when she exits the warrior's den, and she's very happy about this. So she's starting to see Algos as her main friend. Then Oaktoe woke Moonwish, Stormstar, Sleet Chase, and Algos, and Moonwish yelled at her not to wake her up because Moonwish just doesn't want to follow orders from Oaktoe. So she hopes Oaktoe never becomes leader or deputy. And then Moonwish hears a nice story about Cripple, and her, Raincloud, and Stormstar decide to have a nice talk whilst eating. Yeah, Raincloud and Stormstar were just eating, and then Moonwish decided to eat with them because of Stormstar. Awkward. And then Moonwish had a friendly chat with Raincloud, leaving them both feel happy. Oh yeah, this is Moon 7. And Moonwish and Oaktoe trip over the same twig in camp. This made Moonwish very angry because she does not want to deal with anything about Oaktoe. So yeah, so she scowls away. And then during training with Stormstar, or not training, but you know, she draws blood onto Stormstar by accident because she was thinking of Oaktoe, and this kind of made Stormstar angry, so she got nervous, and yeah, she couldn't stop thinking it for a day. And then she was furious when Raincloud made her go on a patrol with Oaktoe, and when they both patrol, there is a Fireclan apprentice that was exiled, unknown reason, who is called Volpaw, and they join the clan, which is nice. Moonwish and Stormstar mark the same spot of the border as a sign of friendship. Yeah, I think this is what Moonwish was hoping to happen. This is a Moon 8, by the way. And then Moonwish decides to wake up Volpaw, Argos, Stormstar, and Raincloud up in the early morning. And yet she is... Volpaw didn't know what it meant, but Argos was okay with it. Stormstar and Raincloud weren't too happy about it. And then she starts thinking that she wants to be the next deputy when Raincloud retires, so she hopes for that. And then she saw Oaktoe about to eat some prey, but Moonwish slapped Oaktoe with her tail and told her not to do that. And then Moonwish should have thought that it would be best, because then Oaktoe would get punished. And she hears about the war in Moon 9, and she starts getting worried about it, so she hides in a den like a coward. And then Moonwish helps Argos hide from a clanmate, probably Oaktoe or something, I don't know. Maybe because she doesn't want Oaktoe stealing any more of her friends, so yeah. Then her and Volpatch laughed about something small together, so they're bonding as well. And then she was sent in a patrol with Volpatch and Oaktoe, and the prey was low and there was a blizzard, so they had to go they had to take shelter. And Moonwish tried to trap Oaktoe from the shelter, but that didn't work, so yeah. And then in Moon 10, apparently Moonwish has been saying words lately, and it makes Argos feel uneasy, so she apologizes to Argos if she is scaring her, because she was talking about how she wanted to kill Oaktoe for liking Stormstar and that, because she doesn't want her to be mates with him. Moonwish and Raincloud sunbathe together. So in Moon 10, weird. And that was like a really short month, but whatever. In Moon 11, whenever Moonwish joins Raincloud, apparently he feels a little safer, which is weird. And then Moonwish calls to Raincloud when he goes on his next hunting patrol to catch a fat mouse, but she doesn't realize that Rain Cloud is in the medicine den right now, so yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you how she ended up in the clan. She was just a lone kitty pet, and Snowcloth is actually her mother, not her best friend. My mistake. But she was separated because the two legs separated her from her mother, and she didn't want to stay with the two legs because it made her very mad. So she went out a lot, because she heard rumors about the cats. So she hopes to find them, and she does. But she knows she had to leave everything behind. And when she goes on a patrol with Pt2 again, she is happy when her mother is found with 2 kits. And she does know Shadow, so yeah. Because she was there for half of the time before she had to say goodbye to her mother. And she was very angry when she found out what Shadow did. Onto the final moon, Stormstar does something endearing which surprises Moonwish. And Whiskit says something seemingly innocent, which makes Moonwish sulk for the rest of the day. I don't know why. And the Night Kit is flattened when Moonwish asks him for advice, even though Moonwish was just joking around. So, very funny. She's just trying to play with the new kits, and yeah, because obviously they're younger siblings, so yeah. And by the way, Shadow is, well, no, Shadow's not her father. It's a unknown cat, so yeah. And then finally, Moonwish helps around camp between her duties, mainly with Sleep Chase, because of how she's dealing with the cats. She finds out that Pt2 and Stormstar are now mates, which makes her stomp to her den, and she curls up, groaning, and she wakes up to dream about dark forest. Alright, on to the next cat. A cat who is not really new. Now, well, no, you guys know Albos. If you've seen the last video, he was an ex-Windclan cat, and he's been doing a lot better than last year. Not last year. On his first day, you know what I mean. When I draw Algos, you're probably going to see a lot of changes, because I'm trying to make him look like an owl a little bit, because of his name. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of changes. I'm not very good at, I struggled drawing him because of the pose I wanted to do for him. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of struggles, a lot of mistakes, and yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have to get used to Algo's drawing. He is 23 moons. Last video, he was not 23 moons, because I keep getting moons mixed up since. Yeah, I didn't think of doing year 0 until I realized how long it would actually be if I did year 0, so yeah. I mean year 1 first, so yeah. Alright, on to moon 1. There is something soothing about Algos that Raincloud never realized from him. and then Algos decides to spend time sheltering with Sleep Chase during the storm, which is nice. Moon 2, Algos brings Sleep Chase herbs from the medicine den for a headache. He knows that Sleep Chase can't always rely on herself because she's been trying to look for an apprentice. So yeah, maybe next year. Then he and Stormstar chat about clan news, like as usual, because of how very close they are. And then Stormstar notices that Algos brought him a big piece of fresh kill. Algos knows how to hunt rabbits since he kind of was in the Breezeclan before, so yeah, but he's not used to finding rabbits in the rainforest, so he finds other things. And then Algos offers Pt2 some feathers as a welcome gift. He is happy that he's not the only cat that is not from Stormclan, so that's nice. And he hopes that he can get along with Pt2. But he knows that he won't be able to spend time with Stormstar because Pt2 does seem to like him, according to him. And then in Moon 3, there is a meeting, and Quiver Kit is ready to be an apprentice, and she fidgets impatiently beside Algos as she waits for the meeting to end, because Stormstar assigned Quiverpaw to Algos. It's kind of made Algos a bit worried because he is still young and he is the first cat to ever train an apprentice, so this kind of surprises him since he's not Stormclan related, so yeah. And at the gathering he tells Breezestar about it, which makes Breezestar happy. And then Algos and Quiverpaw bond over something small, which is nice, they're getting along. And then Raincloud thinks that Algos is acting over dramatic lately when Algos decides to ask Raincloud how to train an apprentice because he doesn't know how to do it, and he's getting worried that he might fail the clan. Alright, then Algos knows that the advice Sleep Chase gave him about how to train Quiverpaw is very helpful, and he learned a few techniques, and Sleep Chase told him that to warn Quiverpaw about deathberries and stuff like that, so yeah, he's also grateful for that, so now he knows what he's doing. And whilst on a awesome training, he notices that Quiverpaw struggles to make some moves and decisions, and Algos sees this, and he is shocked when he hears that Quiverpaw asked him if she would be better as a medicine cat. This kind of made Algos worried, and he starts panicking, and he scowls at her in a worried thing, and he just comforts her while she comforts him, not realizing what she had done. On to Moon 4, Algos starts being a bit rude to some cats, and he didn't notice that Sleep Chase saw this. And Algos decides to bring more prey to Stormstar, and he can tell that he has approved his feelings. No, I don't know. His emotions to Stormstar. I couldn't find the right word, so. And Raincloud decides to wake him, Pt2, Sleep Chase, and the newcomer, Moonwish, up. Algos didn't really care because he just wants to. Well, he didn't get enough sleep last night because he struggled to train Quillpaw. So yeah. And then he is offended by Sleetchase when she tells him to smile more. So he panics and goes to his den, and he decides to put up a smile when he walks past any cat, because he can't stop thinking of his mother, biological mother. So yeah. Whilst on border patrol, teaching Quillpaw about the boundaries and stuff like that, there was a trail that Quillpaw saw, and he decides to follow, and he had his head turned back, and Quillpaw was right behind him. A cat attacked Quillpaw and got her tail mangled, and this freaked out Algo, so he took care of her in the medicine den, panicking, hoping that she would not become a medicine cat or an elder, if you know what I mean. In Moon 5, Algo decides to give some advice to Sleetchase, which is very amazing, because he is actually surprised that Sleetchase asked for some advice on a few things. This is making Algos a lot more capable, so he decides to actually focus and decides to only focus on him and Quillpaw's training. And then Algos let Sleetchase know that a clanmate was talking badly about her. So these two are very good bonding cats together, so yeah, which is very nice. And then Algos had a wonderful time discussing recent clan news with Stormstar, which he's delighted, because he's honestly only a warrior, not a deputy medicine cow or leaders, but Stormstar always trusts him, so this makes him happy. And then Algos decides to spend time with Quillpaw, teaching her how to hunt, border, and train on the same day. And Algos warns Sleetchase about something on the ground, so Sleetchase doesn't trip, which is nice. And then Algos notices that Octo runs into him and decides to hang out with him, which is surprising because Octo is always with Stormstar. And then on Moon 6, Algos doesn't realize that one of her friends were talking about how nice he was, because he has been talking to Moonwish a bit, and Moonwish is technically Sleetchase's distant friend, and she was saying nice things about Algos, but it makes Sleetchase a little jealous, which kind of makes him a bit how do you say okay, you know what, forget it. And then Algos notices that Stormstar has been getting a little rude and not as kind as usual. This is because of Moonwish and not Algos, Octo drama thingy. And then Algos discuss something with Stormstar and hopes that he agrees it, and Stormstar does respect it despite disagreeing with it. And then he starts gossiping with Octo, and and Octo shares a joke about a neighboring clan with Algos, which makes him laugh. And Algos is included by Moonwish in a conversation that Algos struggled to join. On Moon Moon 7, he notices that whenever he walks past Sleep Chase, she starts standing tall. Argos is admiring it. And then Argos greets Moonwish as she is exiting the warrior zone. So recently Argos knows that about Moonwish and Stormstar thingying with Okto, and he decides that he actually has a crush on Moonwish, which is very nice. So he tries to get her attention, but not trying to ruin her. If Stormstar ever did take Okto as a mate, Argos would hope Moonwish would take him as a mate. And then Argos accidentally bumps head with Okto. I mean, not accidentally, reassuringly. Oh my gosh, today is not a good day for me to be talking. So yeah, again, doing a lot of stuttering. Oh my god. And then, oh my god, I'm tired. Okto wakes up Moonwish, Stormstar, Sleep Chase, and Argos up in the early morning. Argos is fed up with it, so he just starts walking around the territory, slightly annoyed and tired. And then there's a fox on the territory while he was training Quiverpaw, and they both drive away, and he is glad how fierce Quiverpaw has become, and he knows that he's actually doing a better job than how he was at the start. In Moon 8, during the meeting, the clan has been slandering about Argos, and he is surprised when Stormstar stands up for him, and he is very happy about this, because some clanmates still do think that he isn't loyal since he is Breezeclan related. So yeah. And Argos laughs at a clanmate's joke, and he doesn't notice that Stormstar heard this, and yeah. And then he is helped by Moonwish to hide from a clanmate. I low-key forgot who it was, but whoever it was from Moonwish part, because I low-key forgot who it was. Yeah. I don't always make these videos on the same days. I make them at least 2 weeks after, so one each drawing, so yeah, sorry if I forgot who it was. Oh yeah, on this moon, he notices the new clanmate Vol. Oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, and Volpatch and Argos bring each other prey. Argos is glad that he's not the only other clan, different clan cat, so he's glad that there's at least a different clan cat instead of a Stormclan cat, because there's a exiled Fireclan cat and he's a Breezeclan cat. And then Quiverpaw and Argos find some more footprints and decide to report to Stormstar, hoping that this time they won't get attacked. And on Moon 9, he is shocked when he heard about the war against Stormclan and Mistclan. He is glad when Sleep Chase congratulates him for doing a good job on training Quiverpaw. And Ring, Cloud and Argos worked well together on a patrol. Argos can't help feel uneased at Moonwish's words lately when she talks about Okto and Stormstar, and he hopes that Moonwish would start thinking about Stormstar, and because August wants the best for her. He knows that he could be a great mate for her, but he doesn't want to push her, so he will wait patiently when the time comes. And he hopes if Moonwish ever likes him, he would accept. And Octo and Algos debate on something interesting, though they disagree on it, so yeah. Algos doesn't really trust Volpatch that much, even though they don't really talk that much, but he just doesn't trust him at all. And the clan notices this, that they both always sit far away from each other. This kind of makes the clan a bit worried about how the future will come for these two, hoping that it doesn't start like a big threat to the clan in the future, which would make sense. And then Octo decides to come with Alghost and Quiver. Oh yeah, Quiverpool got her warrior name on this moon. I don't know why I didn't say this. That's also another reason why Sleet Chase gave him a congratulations. And they approach a Mistclan patrol, and they tell them about a badger making its den in Mistclan, and they are glad about this. But when they return, Stormstar is angry about this, and this kind of scares Algos. And since Algos was actually the leader of the patrol, Algos just gets a punishment and is not allowed to, and is the last cat to eat from the fresh kill pile, which is a bit stubborn, because I don't know why he would do this since they are close friends. And Sleet Chase and Algos share stories of a clanmate they didn't realize they both missed, which is surprising. Oh, this is Moon 10, by the way. And he doesn't know that when Stormstar panics about something, Algos is always the one Stormstar is thinking about. And if Algos knew about this, Algos would actually been way happy about this, despite their last conversation. But Stormstar only did this for like one day, not 4 moons, so they're still friends, very close friends. Algos watches Rain Cloud went up a sneeze, but it never happens, which makes him frown. And Algos doesn't want Octo to overwork herself. In Moon 11, Algos sees that Octo's piece of prey looks tastier and asks if she'd like to swap. She agrees happily, saying she likes that one better. But I can't even speak. Sorry about the background noise. I have nowhere else to record this, so sorry about this. And in the last Moon 12, he has hoped that a Rain Cloud won't assign him for the next patrol. And yeah, Moon 12 was very short, I don't know why. And that will be the end of it. So yeah, here's Alghost. And the next cat will be a cat that has been talked a lot. So yeah. So sorry again if there's any background noises. I don't have anywhere else to record, and my room is the only place to record, so yeah. And sorry about my speaking, and sometimes I don't know why I yawn when I speak, but this has been happening to me recently, which is actually starting to annoy me. Ever since I've been raiding Warrior Cat, when I first started Arc 3, I've been yawning ever since I read, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, enjoy the rest of this speed paint of our ghost. Alright, moving on to the next cat. It is our lovely another main character, which is Quiverpaw or Quiverkit from the start. You might know, you can see her name, what she is, but obviously we can only call Quiverkit right now until until we explain everything. So this is Quiverkit, soon to be warrior. She is a female and she is now 16 moons, and she is troublesome, good speaker, and incredibly clever, and her role is a warrior. Now I must say Quiverkit is my favorite cat in this generation. Right, into Moon 1. People do find her words uneasy lately, like Sleep Chase does. And she knows that Stormstar doesn't think all her intentions are pure, but she knows that she is the kindest out of everyone in this clan. Even though if she tries to be kind, she sometimes can be a bit possessive in a protective way. The clan has noticed Stormstar and Quiverkit are smiling at each other more today, since they are trying to bond as a family. So Quiverkit and Stormstar have to break up a fight between their clanmates. I really can't remember who it was, but yeah. Quiverkit makes a small sacrifice that benefits Raincloud, which is very nice. She's bonding time with her, okay, you know what, it doesn't matter. And then in Moon 2, when Oak-Toe is introduced, Quiverkit decides to offer Oak-Toe some feathers as a welcome gift to decorate her new nest. Quiverkit is happy to see a newcomer, but she doesn't really like how Stormstar acts towards Oak-Toe, since Quiverkit doesn't even know about her mother, and not gonna even know until like a very long time. So and this moon, she finally becomes an apprentice. She is now known as Quiverpaw. She fidgets impatiently beside our ghost as she waits for the meeting to end. She's finally an apprentice, and she wants to get out there and go. And she is now known as the first apprentice of Stormclan. So yeah, she's actually the first apprentice of Stormclan, and funny enough, she's actually the first kit of Stormclan, which is very nice, since she actually finds out that she's special something. Quiverpaw and our ghost bond over something small. They haven't really bonded until like they became like mentor and apprentice, so she's kind of glad to have our ghost as a mentor, even though she does know that Algos doesn't know anything about the Stormclan really. I mean, she doesn't as much, but she's not very excited to be in an apprenticeship because she knows she would fail, and Algos doesn't. And Algos says to her it's not true. Algos decides to do a training assessment really quick, which is not really fast because you have to do it at like the end, almost at the end of the moon. But Algos decided to see if how far Quiverpaw has been learning, and Quiverpaw struggles to make a decision. What if she cannot find Algos before the time limit? Okay, she had to find Algos apparently, and she doesn't even know what to do. And she thinks maybe it will be better off as a medicine cat. A medicine cat. Crazy. The fact that she thinks she's better off a medicine cat is terrifying. And I don't think Algos was very fond of that. And her mental's arrival startled her, and Quiverpaw realizes she wasted too much time second guessing herself. She basically always pressures herself into thinking that she did something wrong even though she did the right thing. But this can sometimes always be true. In Moon 3, Quiverpaw is impressed by Moonwish helping others today. I think this is when Moonwish came in, but yeah. Quiverpaw doesn't really like Moonwish as well, because she sees Moonwish flirting with her father, and Quiverpaw doesn't really like anyone who even tries to be mates with her father, since Quiverpaw doesn't even know what happened to her mother, or who she was, or if I can't even speak. You know what I mean. I hope. Raincloud and Quiverpaw snarl at one another over something trivial. Okay, I can't speak today. I've just been really tired today. This day has not been going great for me today, which is like August 3rd of August. Yeah. And then her mentor Algos decides to take her on a border patrol to show her the territory, and she followed some footprints, and Algos was in front of her, and suddenly she is clawed on the back of her tail with a sharp pain on her tail. Yeah, you can see the blood in her tail. And there is a rogue attacking her, and she fought with all her blood against this rogue, and Algos comes to help, but this left Quiverpaw very weak, leaving her a mangled tail, which takes a long time to heal. In Moonfall, Quiverpaw has been spending time with Algos lately. She has to spend in the medicine den now because of her mangled tail, so she's glad Algos is comforting her while she's recovering. And Quiverpaw is never congratulated for her accomplishment as much as everyone else, because most of the clan knows that Quiverpaw always fails on something, and Raincloud notices this, and Quiverpaw does not know that. And she thinks Algos knows it, but yeah. And she tries to do too much at once and defeatedly asks Octo for help sometimes. She does not like the cat that much, but Octo is like kind to her most of the time, so she asks for some help sometimes. And when Octo is asked this, Quiverpaw is surprised that Octo takes her on a walk in territory, and she was worried about if the rogue will come back, and Octo told her that there's nothing to be worried about because the patrols boarded the territory today and they have not seen a rogue, so she should be fine. And although her tail is making her in pain, she still is fit to go on a walk. In Moon 5, she really does not know that her father wishes his pelt is able to shine like Quiverpaw's, since her pelt shining is from her mother. So yeah, and Stormstar kind of does get dramatic when Quiverpaw reminds him about her mother. Raincloud brings Quiverpaw some dry bedding in the medicine den. Raincloud is trying to Raincloud tells her to recover quickly and hope she feels better. Quiverpaw is actually happy that some clanmates are caring for her for once. In Moon 6, Quiverpaw doesn't really know that Sleet Chase actually is amazed how skilled she is. Quiverpaw does not know how skilled she is actually, and she thinks she's like the worst. She thinks she's like the worst clanmate in the clan, but to be honest, Quiverpaw is actually the best hunter and the fastest cat in the clan, and she doesn't even know that. She thinks it's other cats, and she thinks she's like the worthless cat. I cannot speak today, holy moly. Okay, Quiverpaw does something that makes Stormstar's day a little happier, and she's glad, because, yeah. During a patrol, Stormstar and Quiverpaw have a long conversation about their beliefs and agree on many things. Also, her tail recovered, but left her a huge mark on her, as you can see on the drawing. And Quiverpaw is healed from her mangled leg, but forever being marked by a scar. I actually did not see that part of the list, so excuse me if I said that twice. I write this in notes, so forgive me. Since her and her father Stormstar has been bonding this moon a lot, she hopes that she is assigned to patrol with Stormstar tomorrow. I mean, she can be, since Stormstar is the leader, and Raincloud wouldn't even hesitate to do that. So yeah, Raincloud and Quiverpaw notices that she is falling behind in training, and she's surprised when Raincloud offers her to help and catch up, and she's very happy about this because Algos has been very paranoid and busy this moon, so she's happy about this. And Quiverpaw has a talent that Raincloud wants to have, and she is surprised when she actually notices this, but she doesn't believe it at all. And she is kind of annoyed when some cats shared a story about Quiverpaw to Moonwish, but she's also embarrassed. Then she went on a patrol with Alghost, hunting patrol, and there is a fox on the territory, and they both drive it away. And she is glad that her tail did not stop her from attacking the fox. In Moon 7, Sleet she's kind of sad when she always hears Sleekchase sighing at the mentions of her name when some cat mentions her. This makes her a lot more what's the word? I don't know. Quiverpaw and Raincloud watch drama unfold in camp. Mainly Moonwish and Oaktoe right now. And she had a nice chat with a loner outside clan territory. I will say this is a future character. Actually, it's the next character that we're gonna see. But then she is scolded by Stormstar, and she is punished. So that did not go well. And she is, and then like, I guess you could say a week after. But you know what I mean. Okay, we know what who cares. She is horrified when she is told about Stormstar losing their life and is now on 8 lives. She checks on her father and sees how injured he is, and Quiverpaw prays to StarClan that Stormstar will survive. And she looks at Sleekchase, begging her to do everything she can, since Stormstar is like Quiverpaw's only parent, so she does not want to lose her father. Like, she doesn't like how she lost her mother in a way that she doesn't know. And Quiverpaw and Algos is told that there's a badger on the territory, and they decide to check around. And the badger came chasing at them, and they escape uninjured, fortunately, so close call. In Moon 8, Sleekchase and Quiverpaw argued about something trivial, and neither of them apologized. So these two are getting a bit distant to each other, unfortunately. She also heard rumors about Volpaw, the new cat who joined the clan on a patrol, which is the same loner that she was talking to outside territory. Crazy, huh? And she is surprised when Stormstar even allowed him in. Quiverpaw is jealous that Oaktoe got to go to the last gathering. Yeah. And she doesn't know that Raincloud wishes that a clanmate liked him as much as they like Quiverpaw. And Quiverpaw basically is like not like that many clanmates, but apparently she's like a lot more than Raincloud, apparently. The deputy, by the way. Maybe because he's too old. Yeah, he should retire. Maybe that's a bit too far. Oaktoe thinks Quiverpaw is a good singer, and Quiverpaw is actually happy when Oaktoe tells her this. She recently put a dead snake at the camp entrance to scare clanmates, which got her to be into a punishment by Raincloud and Stormstar. Yeah, she had to do a lot. And then she is frightened when she sees more footprints, and there was a rogue who tried to attack them, but they attacked first. So yeah, which is Algos and Quiverpaw, and they're glad the rogue is gone, hopefully. And in Moon 9, Quiverpaw is scared when she hears that Mistclan recently let out a surprise attack to claim Stormclan territory, but to no avail. She was actually one of the cats fighting for the battle, so And Stormstar woke Oaktoe, Volpatch, Quiverpaw, and Raincloud up early for morning stretches. Quiverpaw is annoyed that she can never get rest when she works so hard in her training. And a clanmate that Stormstar wanted to get no better. She doesn't know that her father wanted to get to know better is already friends with Quiverpaw, so kind of cringe. And finally, Quiverpaw is actually surprised when Algos told Stormstar that she is ready for her warrior ceremony. And when it's time for her warrior ceremony, Stormclan welcomes Quiverpaw as Quiverpool, as a new warrior, honoring her wit and skills. Quiverpool and Sleet Chase were supposed to be working together today, but they can never agree long enough to accomplish anything. I don't know what happened to these two. They were literally friends at the start, and now they like enemies at the end. I don't know. And she is happy when she is having a nice talk whilst eating with Oaktoe and Volpatch. Quiverpool doesn't really see that she's actually been having feelings for Volpatch recently, and she doesn't know how much feeling she's actually feeling. She thinks it's just a friend thing, but she doesn't really know that how much she likes him. Then she goes on a border patrol with Algos and Oaktoe, and they saw Mistclan on the other side of patrol, and they decided to greet each other, and they were actually very nice. Even though with their war, but yeah, they were actually very nice. In Moon 10, Quiverpool and Stormstar bring each other prey, which is nice. Unfortunately, this is when her warrior moons get a bit downhill even more. She has gotten green cough. Oh my god. And she is forced to stay in the medicine den for a while. And she knew that she failed a simple task when showing Raincloud. Quiverpool calls out the clan for targeting Oaktoe outside the medicine den during the meeting. And Oaktoe is actually glad about this, and Quiverpool is actually deciding on if she actually would love Oaktoe as her new mother, but she knew that it would never be the same, even though Quiverpool actually never knew her mother or what she looked like. And since Quiverpool is sick, she wouldn't give up a warm, sunny spot for Stormstar, not even for a minute, even though Stormstar was angry about it, and he didn't even know how sick her daughter was, which is kind of rude. And Quiverpool thinks that Volpatch is very creative. More than creative, I would say. And she is shocked when Raincloud has survived yellow cough. And she hopes that she survives green cough. And Raincloud had a disagreement with Quiverpool about something or other. I don't know what it is. And Quiverpool, and this is like the final thing this moon. Quiverpool is looking forward to finding more prey as the snow melts. And nothing literally happens in moon 11 and 12. I don't know what happened there, but there's like literally no notes of what happened to 11 and 12, but I don't know if I missed anything, but like any screenshots or anything, but like literally nothing happened, so yeah. Anyways, that's the end of Quiverpool's part. I'm sorry if I stutter a lot. I'm kind of I'm kind of like sick. As sick as like when I went to the hospital. It's not as bad. I'm not throwing up or anything. It's just like my stomach hurts really badly. So yeah, and I've been like going to a lot of places this week. So school starts in like 2 weeks or for 2 to 3 weeks time. So yeah, so I'm getting frustrated, and I hope I get this completed before the end. Alright, on to our next little guy is Volpatch. Right now, Volpaw. So, he is an ex-Fireclan cat. He is a male, and he's currently 15 moons now. He is adventurous, a good mediator, surprisingly, but he chose to be a warrior, and he's obviously Fireclan born. Right, I didn't really plan that much of how he got, like, why he is an ex-Fireclan cat, but he was exiled, and Fireclan is like the most nicest clan, so it's surprising that Fireclan would exile a innocent cat. Patch is really innocent, I promise you. He would never hurt a fly. He's like this sweet innocent chungies who just don't want to do anything. I tried to make him look like similar to like a vole, so like it almost where he got his name. I made the ears and the tail a little bit similar. I tried to make like the paws a little small, but that didn't work, and the legs came out bad. I don't know why I made it pose like that, but yeah. So I made this pose to look like he's running away from his clan. I forgot to add his tears, so forgive me. So he found out that a warrior killed the Fireclan deputy, and he told Firestar about this, but they didn't believe it at all. So when Firestar asked the deputy, they're like, they don't even, well, the new deputy who killed the deputy, but you know what I mean. He made like zero, like he started acting like he didn't do anything, and told that it was Volpatch who did it. And Firestar decided to believe the fake deputy over a flipping child. Yeah, there were like 9 moons at the time. I can't remember. I think it was 10, but and then he got exiled, and the cats drove him out. He got the scratch on his body. I decided to add that since it made it look like he got exiled. And which is from the Fireclan deputy. And Volpatch swear they would never come to this clan again. And he is exhausted, not knowing where he is. He is found in a forest that is like wet and soggy. He passes out, and then he is found by a patrol who was Oaktoe and Moonwish. He was frightened that he would get his fur clawed out, but Oaktoe offered for him to come back to camp, and he realized how he was in Stormclan territory. He knew that Stormclan wasn't really a good clan because of their leader Stormstar, but he had nowhere to live at all, so he just decided to go in anyway. So and he's surprised when Stormstar allowed him to stay in Stormclan. He is very happy. And when he goes to the apprentice den, he is shocked to find the most prettiest she cat he has ever seen. Quiverpaw. He blushed really hard. Yeah. And he was very shy towards her, so he when Quiverpaw always talked to him, he would get what's the word, flustered. Yeah. Excuse me for my mumbling. I do not like talking. You do not know what's going on over here. Okay, where was I at? Oh yeah. And after a few when Stormstar announced the meeting about his arrival, he is worried that some cats were staring at him like he just came from like a kitty pet place. He does have a bow, which is from one of his. Well, actually, yeah. Well, this bow is from one of his den mates, which is only to be found out in Fireclan. So, yeah, and he decided to put it on his tail and not on his like neck, since it made him look like he's a kitty pet. And most of the clan did accept him, since they already accepted Oaktoe, Moonwish, and Owlghost. And he is surprised the cat who found him is his mentor, Oaktoe. So Volpaw is mentor to Oaktoe, which is where we get onto the year. In Moon 7, this is when he joined, so yeah. And in Moon 8, Volpaw tells Stormstar that his pelt is shiny today. Yeah, he's trying to bond with the clan leader to show how bad he's not. How how good a clanmate he can be. And Volpaw told Oaktoe some of his story, since Volpaw can only trust Oaktoe since she is the one who found him and is his mentor. Then he startled when Moonwish woke him, Owlghost, Stormstar, and Raincloud early for the morning stretches. This kind of annoyed him since he's still tired, and he's like very skinny because he barely had any food since Fireclan was low on food. And Stormstar calls the clan meeting and declares Volpaw to be a warrior, and now he's called Volpatch. And he's very happy about this, that he's actually now known as a Stormclan warrior. And during the meeting, he told everyone in the clan that Stormclan is way much better than Fireclan, especially the territory. Volpatch overhears Oaktoe dispelling a false rumor about a clanmate, which is a Moonwish, I can guess. He goes on a patrol of Oaktoe and Moonwish, and Oaktoe was attempting to eat a prey, but Moonwish stopped her, and Volpatch is still dead and just examining what to do, and also examining these clanmates since he wants to get to know them better. In Moon 9, he is shocked when Mistclan has started a war with Stormclan, and he is frightened, and he is not one of the warriors who go in the battle. And he doesn't really go to gatherings that much because of Fireclan, but like this was his first gathering, so yeah, so Fireclan was very angry when Stormstar had Volpatch. And yeah, I mean, some clanmates in Fireclan was happy to see him, since that they were like the ones who believed Volpatch. And then Raincloud let Volpatch share his troubles with him, hoping he'll feel better afterwards, which is nice. Oh god. Volpatch asked Raincloud about his duties on how being a deputy is, since Raincloud reminds him about the Fireclan deputy. And Volpatch does consider on trying to be a deputy one day and not make the same mistake. Or make the same mistake and he gets exiled again. And then Octo laughed at his... oh my god. And Octo laughs at Volpatch for making a mistake on the patrol, which is kind of weird, because I don't know if Octo notices that was not very funny. Yeah, I don't know what was happening with Octo at this time. Like, I just genuinely don't know. This is a Clangen stuff, so I don't even know what was going on. And Minwish and Volpatch laughed about something small together. Well, maybe because he was bonding with Minwish? I have no idea. And Volpatch and Algos bring each other prey. Even though these two don't really Volpatch doesn't mind Algos, but Algos doesn't really trust Volpatch that much because of his exile. They may not be they both may be from different clans, but Algos tells him that his story is different. He chose to leave, but Volpatch didn't. So, which makes Volpatch very sad, since he's glad he's not the only different clan cat, but yeah, he can't make a friend with the other clan cat, so. He goes on a patrol with Octo and Moonwish, and there was a snowstorm, apparently, and they decide to go under a bush and huddle next to each other, and Volpatch was not used to this type of weather, since Fireclan was based on Fireclan is based on like a very hot beach type of stuff, so yeah. But he used like mainly warm, so it actually warmed Octo and Moonwish, which he is glad. In Moon 10, Stormstar woke Octo, Volpatch, Quiverpaw, and Raincloud up early before morning, but Volpatch didn't mind since it was the clan leader, and he wanted to show how much he is loyal to Stormclan. And he is happy when his first crush, well, I don't know why, but like, Quiverpaw is like 1 moon older than Volpatch, but since she got like injured a lot, she had to delay her, I think Volpatch became like a warrior like at 11 moons, and Quiverpaw became a warrior at 13. I can't remember, but and he is surprised when Quiverpaw sat next to him and thanks him for some reason. And he is surprised when Quiverpaw told him that he helped her a little bit by him sharing a little bit of ideas, since yeah. And Volpatch doesn't really understand why Quiverpaw thinks she's worthless, even though she's like the best hunter and like the fastest cat in the clan. But Raincloud told him that she does not know that, which is surprising. And he is happy when Octo is impressed by him on helping others today. And the clan is starting to think that Fireclan is actually wrong, and they actually should be aware of that Fireclan WD. And the clan notices that Volpatch and Argos always sits away from one another, since like they both are like they don't trust each other. Argos is like, I think Argos is like the only cat who does not like who hates Volpatch for like no reason. I mean, it's like for trust issues, but like yeah. Starts making a trio with Octo and Quiverpool, since those three bond well together, even though they sometimes like Octo and Quiverpool can be a bit messy with each other. I mean, Octo doesn't really. I mean, Octo is like the one cat who messes up things. So like there's always a duo in a trio. I'm gonna be honest. So Volpatch and Quiverpool is like the duo in this trio. I mean, they're both like kids, so it makes sense. And they have a nice talk whilst eating, which is very nice. In Moon 11, Sleetchase spends time with Volpatch, and they both end up understanding each other a little better, which is surprising since Sleetchase is a missing cat, and Volpatch did not expect that. And he's surprised when Sleetchase told him that Quiverpool actually wants to be a medicine cat, but she was more better as a warrior, which is actually shocking for him. And he is actually happy when Stormstar is checking on Volpatch. He doesn't actually know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but Stormstar always gives him a nice look. But Quiverpool tells him that his father only does that. Her father only does that to seem innocent. But Stormstar is actually checking if he's doing anything bad. But Volpatch doesn't mind since he understands. Octo thanks Volpatch for covering for her during a patrol earlier. These two are actually like best like mentor and hunter. Mentor and apprentice. I don't know why I said hunter. Octo hit Volpatch on the face with her tail whilst passing by. I don't think Octo did that on purpose, but I think it was on accident. So yeah, because Octo would only be doing that to Moonwish. And Volpatch didn't do anything bad, so Volpatch didn't really mind it since he thought it was a accident. In Moon 12, he is shocked when a queen, who is almost an elder, comes in with her newborn babies called Wispkit, and her name is given Snowclove, and Wisp and Night are given Nightkit and Wispkit, and he's glad that he's not the newest member of the clan. And he is happy when Quiverpool tells him that she thinks he is very creative, and he's starting to think that he might actually ask her to be his mate, but that doesn't really happen yet, so maybe we can find out Moon 2. Stormstar doesn't know about these two having like each other. And Volpatch is hurt by one of Octo's pranks, but Octo doesn't seem to believe him. Volpatch is like, I don't know why, but Quiverpool has been like a bit like how do you say bit like doing weird, like I don't know, like just being weird about her relationship with Volpatch. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what's up with Octo. And Volpatch was seen touching noses with a loner, Hawthorne. I think it was like, also, I think it was like another Fireclan cat, but Moonwish. Well, actually no, Octo actually is like clawed the loner out of the territory, so yeah, they will never be seen again. And when they return from patrol, Snowclove and Volpatch seem more at peace with each other than usual. And by the way, like, Volpatch have not made any relationships with the new kids, since he wants to leave them alone, so, which is a nice guy. Like, the most innocent cat gets exiled for like one reason, bro. Like, poor guy. And finally, he now reflects on how different his life is. And he is actually happy that he's in Stormclan, since it's way much better than Fireclan. Even though Fireclan is like the most nicest clan, he just likes Stormclan a lot more. And it's very easy to survive in Fireclan. Oh my god, finally, here is the last one. Finally, the last one. And this time, I'm doing 2, which is the first time I'm doing 2. Well, technically, since I did do Sleep Chase with Icicle Spots. But that doesn't count, because Icicle Spots is a Starclan cat, and she won't be in, like, any years, except from, like, important bots. Like how she was swallowing Sleep Chase, but yeah. So we got Night Kit, who is a female. She is 3 moons, she is noisy, she never sits still, and she is a kit, and her parents are Snowclove and you know, the Shadow, yeah. Loki forgot his name, but I think it was Shadow or something. Like, I did this, like, I'm doing this, like, 2 or 1 month after I did Snowclove. I can't remember. It's been a while. And we got her sister, Wisp Kit, who is a female. She is also 3 moons. She is impulsive, and she's a picky nest builder. Alright. I'm going to start off with Night Kit first. but I'm gonna explain their laws first. Both of their law first. These two had no idea how they were in the house, and they were just newborns, so they barely could see anything, but they saw 2 legs and Kit. And their mother decided to take them out in the forest. And these two were crying because they did not know where they were going, and they wanted to stay in a comfortable, warm place. And it was a very long walk, and the kids were very ill and skinny because they had nothing to eat for a while. But then their mother passed out, and they are found by a Stormclan border patrol, which was run by Pt2 and Moonwish. They both take them in, and Stormstar looked at the 2 kids and understood, so they were allowed to stay and become Stormclan warriors. Snowclove was fine with it, so she decided to become a queen, and once their kids are fully grown, she'll become an elder. Right. By the way, these two literally don't know anything about their origin, so they thought they were just born since they don't remember anything about the 2 legs. And some cats do not like kids for some reason. I guess you could say Moonwish. No, not Moonwish. Some of them, yeah. Alright, we start with Night Kit. By the way, this is a final moon. And by the way, Night Kit is the one on the right. Pt2 thinks that Night Kit is acting overly dramatic lately. Yeah, Night Kit is the most dramatic kit in this clan because they are young, so yeah. Night Kit nothing barely happens to Night Kit this moon, since it's only the last moon, so yeah. And Snowclove bats the moss ball back to Night Kit when it flies in front of her paws, which is nice. And Night Kit is flattened when Moonwish asks for advice, even though Moonwish was just being playful, but Night Kit thought that she actually wanted advice. And she wonders if Starklan has given Sleep Chase any prophecies lately. Maybe she thinks she wants to be a medicine cat in the future. Who knows? Okay, now on to Wisp Kit, which is the one on the left. This kit had a lot this moon, but not that much. And Sleep Chase thinks the prey Wisp Kit is biting into on the other side of the camp looks delicious. And Wisp Kit was looking at her why are you staring at me? Because she thought it was weird. And she is surprised when Stormstar is having a wonderful time discussing recent clan news with Wisp Kit. I don't know why with Wisp Kit, but yeah. And Raincloud bumps heads with Wisp Kit reassuringly, which is nice. Pt2 thinks that never mind. After Wisp Kit says something seemingly innocent, Moonwish sulks for the rest of the day. I don't know what she said, but probably about that Stormstar likes Pt2 better, since they were mates in this moon. And Wisp Kit thinks that Pt2 is more talented than her, which is sad since she's only a kid, so. And she asks for forgiveness, not permission. So that's basically it. These two really had nothing this moon, except being ex-rogues and their father. Yeah, I made them. I'm trying to make them a little stuff in their father. So yeah. Whiskey eyes, orange eyes is from her father, so when Snowclip looks at her eyes, it reminds her of their father. But yeah, these two in the next year, oh no, these two in the next year are not going to go so well, I'm telling you. Something bad will happen between these two next year, so, but you gotta wait next year. So, which is gonna be a while since these two are kind of last. Just to let you know, not all of my kits' drawings are going to be very good because I cannot draw small bodies. I try to make them look like have less fur since they are just like kits and they're growing up to be older, so they will have more fur each time. And these two have like very long fur, but not now. So that's year one of Stormclan. No. Yeah, so you gotta wait for year 2 next year, but yeah, I hope this turned out. I don't know how this turned out to be, so yeah. And see you next year.